Have you ever noticed how when you upload images to WordPress, it creates some weird page with an image title, or maybe just displays the image alone on a black screen? Well, we're going to fix that with a simple code snippet. And in the process, you're going to level up your skills and learn more about how WordPress works under the hood. This is Joe from WPCodeBox. Let's get coding. All right, so to get started, we'll go down here to WPCodeBox. We're going to have our new snippet here. So I'm going to name this redirect attachments. And here, automatically, we have our starting PHP tag. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to declare a function. We're going to call that function redirect attachments. It doesn't take any input. We'll open it with a curly brace. Now, we only want this code to run if this is on an attachment. So we're going to have the if statement here, exclamation point is attachment. Now, what this is going to do is if the page is not an attachment, we're going to return. We're just going to do nothing, right? So the code is only going to run if we're on an attachment page. All right, so now we're going to define some variables that we can use in some logic below. So the first thing we need is our attachment. So we're going to get the post. And this is going to store the post object in that attachment variable. It gives us all sorts of data about the post, everything we'll need. And then we just need to pull things out of that. And next up, we want to get the parent ID. So we'll make a variable called parent ID. And from that, we're going to go into our attachment variable, into the post object, and we're going to pull out the post parent. And that's going to give me the ID of whatever post this image is attached to. So for example, if this is an image in a WooCommerce product, it would give me the ID of that WooCommerce product. And now we need the parent post status. And WPCodeBox knows WordPress really well, so it'll help us autocomplete. So I'll select get post status right here. And we'll open this up. We'll pass in the parent ID. And you can see that autocomplete came from up here, right? Because WPCodeBox know that I wrote that code. So it gave me an autocomplete right here. It makes it really easy to write code. Now I'm going to want to get the parent permalink. To do that, I'm going to get permalink, tab to autocomplete that, WPCodeBox. And we'll pass in our parent ID again, autocomplete. So that is all of the data we're going to need for our logic down below. Now let's set some defaults. So our destination, where are we going to redirect to? So by default, we're going to redirect to home URL. And then our default HTTP status code for a redirect is going to be 302. So right here, get post, this is a WordPress function built in. Post parent, this is built into the post object. Get post status, this is another WordPress function. Get permalink, these are all WordPress functions that are built into WordPress that help making code in WordPress really easy. Okay, so we have everything that we need, right? This is all of our data that we need to write our logic. So now it's time to write the actual logic for when we want to redirect and in which cases and where we want to redirect to. So we're going to open up another if statement. So if the parent ID is set. So if I run this right now, the code below, the code down here, we'll open those code brackets. If there is a parent ID, this code will run. If there is no parent ID, if this is null, if this is empty, then the code's not going to run, right? I also want to make sure, I'm going to add an and here. So we're going to add two pieces of logic. So the second piece of logic is I don't want this to run if the parent is in the trash. So parent post status does not equal trash. So what this means is we're only going to add code here if there is a parent and it's not in the trash. And what are we going to do? We're going to change our destination and the status code. Okay. So if there is a parent and if it's not in the trash, I want to send it somewhere else and I want to send it with a different status code. This status code right here is a 302. That's a temporary redirect. But I want to send a permanent redirect to the actual parent post if there's a parent post and it's not in the trash. So let's do that here. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to change my destination. So destination equals parent permalink. You see how easy that is with WPCodeBox? I already declared it up here. It auto-completes down there. Super simple. Then I'm going to change my status code. HTTP status code equals 301. And that's it. Now we need to do our redirect. WP safe redirect, and we can see WPCodeBox is telling me this is a WordPress function. And we're going to set our destination and our status code, just like that. Then we're going to exit. Okay, last thing we have to do is we have to tell WordPress when to run this code. So we're going to hook in here. We're going to go add action, tab to autocomplete. We're going to hook into template redirect. There it is. What does template redirect do? It fires before determining which template to load. Great. Template redirect. And the next argument is going to be redirect attachments. That one right there. And now we need to give this a priority. We'll give it priority 1. And we'll give a semicolon here to close out that line. And that's it. My snippet is done. So I'm going to save it. Okay. And I can see my snippets over here, and it's currently disabled. So let's see how things currently work inside WordPress with the snippet disabled. So I'm going to go over here to media. I open this up in a new tab. We'll put this side by side so we can see. Here's my image. We'll view the attachment page. And there it is. Ugly. I don't like this. I want this to go away. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to enable the snippet. I'll go back over here. I'm going to refresh the attachment page. And there we go. This is the product page. That's the image. And we get that nice redirect in there using a 301. So let's go back into WordPress over here. And we're going to see this image does not have a parent, right? This is the WooCommerce placeholder. It's not attached to any specific image. So this is going to take us straight to our homepage. So that's how you fix WordPress attachment pages with one snippet in WP Codebox. I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.